Hey, Travis. Have you seen the group text Kathy sent out to the family?
Hey, Linda. Yeah, I saw it. I can't believe it. Our little Kathy is getting married. Seemed like just yesterday she graduated high school. And her fiancé is coming this Saturday, right? Can't wait to meet him.
She's 25, Travis. 7 years isn't exactly yesterday.
Yeah. Well, it feels like yesterday. It's just crazy to think that when we first got married, she was only 5 years old. She's been a part of my life for so long that I honestly feel like she's my real daughter, not just my stepdaughter.
I guess I can understand why you'd feel that way, but just remember one thing. It's only a feeling. You can enjoy the feeling while it lasts, but it'll never be more than that.
Huh?
You might have been acting as a stand-in for her father for 20 years, but that's all you'll ever be. You're not her real father.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm aware of that, but geez. You have to be so harsh to me like that?
Do you think I'd be talking to you like this without a reason?
Linda, what's going on? What are you trying to say?
If I have to spell it out for you, I'm saying that your time is up, Travis. I've been talking to Kathy's father, Nate, and we've decided to get back together.
What?
Back when we divorced, Nate was working at a super high-stress company. The stress got to him, and he had a mental breakdown that cost him his job. I figured there would be no way he could support Kathy and me until he worked his issues out, so I asked him to divorce me, and he agreed. But now it's been 20 years since then. We met up again about 6 months ago, and he was like a brand new man. He's a high-powered executive now. He runs his own company. Kathy knows you're not her real father, and since she's out on her own now, I figured it was about time her real father stepped back into the role officially.
Linda, what are you saying?
You really still don't get it? I want Kathy's real father to walk her down the aisle at the wedding. As my husband, it's time, Travis. We're getting divorced. I think that should make it crystal clear, right? I want to get it done as soon as possible, before her fiancé comes over on Saturday. If her fiancé meets you, it'll just make things more complicated. Since I'll be married to Nate by the wedding, that means the groom and his family will start asking questions like, "Wait, so which one is her father?" or something. That's an awkward conversation I would really prefer to avoid.
You seem like you've worked this all out for yourself in your head. But have you thought to ask Kathy what she thinks?
She's my daughter, Travis. I don't need to hear it from her mouth to know what she's thinking.
I see. Fine then. We'll get divorced. On one condition. First, you have to talk to Kathy directly, in person, and see how she feels about everything.
I told you I don't need to ask her. Of course she's going to choose her real father. God, were you always this much of a whiny loser? I'm starting to wish I had made this move sooner. Just do everyone a favor and never talk to Kathy again, okay?
I've made up my mind. I'm talking to Kathy first before making any decisions.
No one likes a pathetic, clingy old man, Travis.
I've still got work to do today, so I'll take my leave from this conversation here. Hey, Kathy. I saw the group text you sent out.
Hey, Dad.
I'm so happy to hear that Mitch finally proposed to you. I know how strongly you felt about him for some time now. Congratulations.
Finally is right. He said he was able to pay back the last of his student loans, so he thought now was the time.
Wow, all paid off already? That guy is a real hard worker. He's a keeper, Kathy. You take care of him, you hear?
Oh, I plan on it. By the way...
What is it?
How are you doing after... well, you know.
Ah, that. Yeah, your mom dropped that thermonuclear warhead on me while I was on my lunch break today. Apparently her and Nate are getting back together, so she wants me out of the picture.
Yeah, that's my understanding too. Seriously, how can she do a thing like this? I was so shocked when she told me what was going on that I couldn't speak. I couldn't cry. I could barely even move. And then she told me I don't need to worry about you because since Nate's some big shot businessman, she can leave you all the assets in the divorce.
Oh, wow. I'm touched that she's going out of her way to be so considerate to me. She's so generous. A regular Mother Teresa.
Did she tell you anything else?
She said she wants to get the divorce settled by Saturday so she can introduce Nate as your father when Mitch comes over this weekend.
Saturday? Isn't that just a teensy bit soon?
Her plan is to have Nate walk you down the aisle at your wedding and have him at the family table as her husband. She said she wants to avoid having any awkward conversation with Mitch's family, so she only wants them to ever meet Nate.
What? No, not a chance. That is not happening. Absolutely not. I mean, sure, he may be my biological dad, but he hasn't been any part of my life in 20 years. I barely even met him.
I thought you'd feel that way, but your mother seems to have it in her head that you'd have the same position as her in all of this. It looks like her assumption missed the mark a bit.
Seriously? But, I mean, I've already talked to Mitch about our family's circumstances. He knows the whole story. Sure, I never told Mom that I talked to him, but did she really think I'd withhold a detail that massive from my own fiancé?
Yeah, and what's more, Mitch and I have already met, so I'm not sure what she thinks she's preventing.
I know, right? But I guess Mom doesn't know about that either. And another thing, about the wedding. Mitch and I were planning on telling you guys this when he comes by on Saturday, but we're not going to do a formal ceremony. We're doing what's called a photo wedding, where you just take pictures as if it were a real wedding.
Oh, really? You know, I think I have heard of those before.
Yeah, they're kind of a new thing. Mitch's parents both passed away when he was young, and he has no siblings, so we thought it would be a good plan. Plus, you know, I'm not one for gaudy events, getting dressed fancy, being paraded in front of a bunch of people, that sort of thing.
I see. Glad you're on the same page.
Oh, the people at the venue did say that it was okay to bring guests along on the day of the photo shoot. I'm going to send you an invitation to that, so be sure to save the date, okay?
Gotcha. I'll be sure to set it aside.
That leaves one problem, though. Mom.
Yeah, that's kind of a big problem.
After all, I'm pretty sure Mom still has no idea that we know she's been having an affair, and this whole "we just happened to run into each other" nonsense is all a cover. There's no way she'd be telling that bold of a lie if she knew.
You're right.
So what do you think, Dad? What are you gonna do?
Well, she just handed me the divorce papers a bit ago.
Wow, already?
Yep. I'm gonna make my move tomorrow.
Tomorrow, huh? Well, I'm rooting for you, Dad.
Thanks, sweetheart. Hi, Linda. I submitted the divorce papers to the courthouse on my way home from work.
Wow, already? You're more obedient than I thought you would be. Good boy.
Yeah, I just want to get this out of the way so I can get on with my life.
Oh, well, good for you. All I want is to be divorced as soon as possible, so the sooner the better.
Right, the sooner the better. So, the sooner you get out of my house, the better. You have till tomorrow morning.
What? You're kicking me out?
The house is in my name.
Oh, well, I guess you're right.
Don't tell me. You haven't made new living arrangements yet? You're not stupid enough to throw a stack of divorce papers at me without having a plan for what you're going to do after a divorce is finalized, are you?
Of course not. I just, was caught off guard by the fact that you got the divorce papers submitted so soon, that's all. I'll start packing up my stuff tomorrow morning.
No, didn't you hear me? I told you that you're going to be out of my house by tomorrow morning.
You're only giving me till morning?
I'll be staying at my friend's place tonight, so get your things in order and get the hell out. I'm gonna come by the house at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. You had better be gone by then.
Come on, by 9 a.m.? I'm gonna have to stay up all night in order to get all my stuff packed and move out in time.
I don't care what you have to do. Get it done. It was you who told me you wanted to get divorced as soon as possible, and I gave you what you wanted. We're divorced. That's my house you're in, and I want you out by tomorrow morning.
Fine, jeez. I'll do it. Just get off my back. Hey, Travis, just letting you know I finished moving my stuff out just now.
Good. Thanks for letting me know.
If you don't mind, can I ask you something?
Make it quick.
Kathy hasn't been answering any of my calls or texts since last night. Do you know anything? Has she spoken to you at all?
No, I didn't message Kathy at all yesterday.
Oh. Okay.
Is that all you wanted? Can I go now?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
Great. Now that that's settled, I no longer have any reason to communicate directly with you in the future. If you need anything from me, you'll have to do it through my attorney. You still have his card, don't you?
Yeah, I got it. Travis, this is all you're doing, isn't it?
I was very clear when I told you to talk to my attorney.
I don't have that kind of time. This is an emergency. What did you tell Nate, Travis, huh? Tell me right now. I just showed up at his house with my stuff to move in and he refused to let me in. What's going on?
Yeah, I figured that would happen.
Explain yourself now.
When he got back from his overseas business venture a year ago and the two of you met up, he had no idea that you had remarried, did he? Oh, Nate. It's been so difficult being a single mother these long 20 years. I was so lonely. You have no idea how hard it is to raise a child on your own as a woman in this society. Is that what you told him? I bet you threw in some crocodile tears, too. You probably put on the best display of acting in your life to try and win back the man you rejected now that he's found success.
Did you meet Nate?
Well, to be more precise, we've never actually met in person. All of our communicating has been through our respective lawyers. But he did provide me with an affidavit stating that he had no idea you were a married woman, that you had lied to him and deceived him, that he was terribly sorry for any harm that has come to me, and that he's breaking up with you.
I don't believe this. How could you do something so dirty as going behind my back like that? You're a real creep, you know that?
You think you're in any position to be talking to me like that?
This can't be happening. I just went by Kathy's apartment, but she wasn't there. The whole place was dark. Then when I messaged her, she said that she didn't want to see me, so she was hiding out at her fiancé's house for a while. First Nate, now Kathy? Why? Why is this happening to me?
Ordinarily, I would just tell you to talk to my lawyer again, but since this has to do with Kathy, allow me to fill in the blanks.
Hurry up and tell me what's going on with her.
Kathy knew that you were having an affair.
She did? How?
She saw the two of you in the act with her own two eyes. She could tell that the guy you were with had the same eyes as she did. It wasn't that hard to figure out what was going on.
She saw us? Oh no.
It doesn't make a bit of difference that the two of you were married in the past. You were married to me at the time. You betrayed my trust. You're nothing but a low-down, good-for-nothing cheater.
But he's not just my ex-husband, he's Kathy's real dad.
Real? Why are you so caught up on that word? Who's more of her real dad? The one who took her to her first day of school? Went to her high school graduation and paid for her college education? Or the one who has been completely out of her life for as long as she's had a mind of her own? And when she talks about her dad, she's not talking about Nate. She's talking about me.
Be that as it may, I'm still her mother.
If only you hadn't cheated on me, we'd still be married and you'd still be able to enjoy the same happy, loving relationship with your daughter that you always had. Shame. Damn shame.
But you don't understand. He's a high-powered executive running his own business.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet he makes significantly more than me. A mid-level employee at a mid-sized firm, so he'd definitely be able to provide you with a much higher standard of living than I can right now. Maybe you should have divorced me before shacking up with him.
Well,
all you had to do was be honest. Sure, you may have had a bit of issues to work out, but you could have wound up in a much happier, more positive position than the one you find yourself in now.
Travis, do you think we can work things out between us?
Not a chance in hell.
I'm sure we can come to some sort of arrangement. We can start over, get a fresh start.
I'm done talking to you.
No!
Now, for real this time. Anything else you want to say to me? Tell it to my lawyer.
I don't want to talk to your lawyer. I want to talk to you.
If you'd like to arrange a meeting with me, talk to my lawyer. He'll tell you no, though.
Travis, wait!
With nowhere else to run, Linda went crawling back to her parents' house to live with them. My lawyer went over there to discuss the possibility of settling my lawsuit for her affair out of court, which she agreed to. It seems like at the time she assumed that her parents would agree to foot the bill for her. But they're both retired and on a fixed income, so there was no way they could scrounge together the money to pay the bill for her. In the end, her father arranged for her to go be a live-in maid at the house of an acquaintance of his. 6 months after that, Linda crashed into the wedding venue for Kathy's wedding and shouted, "I'm the mother of the bride. I deserve to be a part of this." However, Kathy's photo shoot had taken place a week earlier. When she realized her mistake, she went completely berserk and started trashing the place. Which means that now she has 2 lawsuit debts she needs to work off. Thanks to her escapades, the guy who hired her decided he didn't want anything to do with her, so he fired her and kicked her out onto the street. And the street is where she's been living ever since, doing odd jobs here and there in a futile attempt to get herself out of debt.